The land of Nyanga had known peace for generations, its people thriving under the guidance of their wise elders and the protection of fierce warriors. At the heart of their culture were the sacred war drums, instruments of both celebration and battle. The rhythmic pounding of these drums was a call to arms, a signal that the spirits of their ancestors demanded action. But peace was fragile. The whispers of invasion had reached the ears of Kofi, a young warrior with the spirit of a lion and the heart of a leader. Foreign forces, clad in iron and wielding thunderous weapons, had begun their slow march toward the lands of the Nyanga. The Europeans came not as guests, but as conquerors, bringing with them firearms, greed, and the chains of slavery. Kofi's father, Chief Ngolo, had fought against the first wave of invaders years ago, but he had fallen in battle. Now it was Kofi's turn to rise, unite, and fight back. However, the Nyanga could not stand alone. The other tribes, once brothers, had become rivals divided by old conflicts and wounds that refused to heal. Kofi knew that if the land of his ancestors was to survive, he had to do the impossible, unite the warring tribes before the foreign army swallowed them all. With nothing but his father's sacred spear, the drums of war, and the wisdom of his mother, Kofi set out on a journey across the land. His first stop was the land of the Zuberi, the fearless mountain warriors known for their unmatched skill with the bow and arrow. Their chief, Baraka, had lost a son in a past war with the Nyanga and would rather fight alone than join Kofi's cause. Kofi challenged Baraka to a trial of skill, a contest in which he had to hunt and bring back the horn of the great black rhino, an animal feared by even the bravest warriors. If he succeeded, the Zuberi would listen. For 3 days Kofi tracked the beast through the thick forests, finally facing it in a brutal battle of endurance. With a single strike of his spear, he brought down the rhino, proving his worth. Baraka, now convinced of Kofi's strength, agreed to join the fight. But there were still more tribes to convince. Kofi journeyed next to the Daru, the people of the great river, master boatmen and skilled fighters with poisoned darts. Their chief, Wanjala, was old and weary, convinced that fighting back was a doomed effort. "The invaders have fire that explodes from their hands," he warned. Kofi invoked the spirits of the ancestors through the sacred war drums, performing a battle dance that shook the ground beneath them. He reminded Wanjala that the rivers belonged to their people, not the foreigners. Inspired by Kofi's passion, the Daru pledged their warriors to the cause. With each victory, Kofi forged a new alliance, slowly assembling an army strong enough to resist the coming storm. Not everyone believed in Kofi's vision. Among the warriors of the Nyanga was Jabari, a trusted warrior who had secretly allied himself with the invaders in exchange for promises of power and wealth. Jabari led Kofi and his warriors into an ambush, where foreign soldiers rained bullets upon them. Many brave warriors fell that day, and Kofi himself barely escaped with his life. But defeat was not an option. Enraged by the betrayal, Kofi challenged Jabari to a duel before the ancestors. Armed only with their spears, the two warriors fought in the moonlight, their shadows dancing against the flames of the great fire. Jabari struck first, but Kofi was faster. With a final swift move, Kofi brought him down. Justice had been served, but the battle for freedom was far from over. The time had come. The drums thundered across the land, their deep, resounding beats summoning warriors from every corner of the land. Thousands of men and women, once divided by rivalry, now stood as one. As the foreign army advanced, Kofi and his warriors prepared their ambush. Armed with spears, bows, and sheer determination, they lured the invaders into the heart of the valley, where the land itself became their weapon. With a mighty war cry, Kofi led the charge. The battle was brutal. The invaders had guns, but Kofi's warriors had the spirits of their ancestors. The fight raged for hours, but the unity of the tribes proved too strong. Using guerrilla tactics, the warriors overwhelmed the foreigners, pushing them back, forcing them to retreat. The land of the ancestors would not be taken. As dawn broke over the great Rift Valley, Kofi stood atop the battlefield, his father's spear raised high. The land was theirs once more, and the invaders had fled. The drums of freedom echoed across the land, not as a call to war, but as a song of unity and victory. Kofi had not just fought for his people, he had united them, ensuring that they would never be divided again. The land remained free. The spirits of the ancestors rejoiced. The drums would never be silenced.